We're living from this place of emptiness. We're living from this place of not enoughness, this wound. And continually living from that place will only continue more pain and more suffering. Whether we feel like we are worthy of receiving or whether we don't, is our relationship to our mother. And how healing the relationship with our mother heals the relationship that we have with our divine feminine. And this is accessible and available in both men and women, but clearly much more fundamental for women. Number 2, how learning how to trust and live in a space of safety and trust allows us to release the hardening of the walls. And that gives us the greatest expansion of our heart. All the fibers of tightness of our being start to soften, and it expands who we are and how we occur to others and in this world. And lastly, healing our relationship to receiving nourishment is not only the gateway to a more fulfilling, joyful, love-filled life, but it deepens our connection to each other and to this planet. Coming out of separation of the ego way of living and coming back into a space of home, of mother, of connection, of wholeness, of earth. So let's begin. One of the most common forms of trauma, particularly in women, mostly in women, is this relationship where we do not believe that we are safe to receive, that we are not worthy of receiving, that somehow we have to show up in the world as fighters. We think everything is an opportunity to be strong, to be the warrior. I know this one well. We think that we always have to be the one that is getting things done, that is being on top of it, being the forceful leader, being the dominant, doing, acting, always on guard somehow. And we're always giving to others and giving to the world. And deep down inside is a longing to receive, a longing to be the one that gets seen and heard, that can be held. But we don't allow it because we don't feel safe in it. This is one of the greatest causes of depletion, burnout, problems with fertility, problems with our menstrual cycle, problems with our energy, digestion. But the greatest pain that comes out of this is the impact that it has on our worth and on our heart and soul. So where does this come from? In Chinese medicine, in macrobiotics, when you work with the 5 elements, fire, earth, metal, water, tree, the element of the earth element is the relationship that we have with our mother, and it is also the divine feminine. When we as children are with our mother, man or woman, the energy should be flowing healthily and abundantly from mother to child. That it is the child's job only to receive from mother, and the mother's job is to give and feed her natural earth energy to the child. If this is done in a healthy, abundant way, then that child grows up to believe that they are worthy of receiving, that it is safe for them to receive. They grow up to believe that they have a strong sense of themselves, of their worth, that they are allowed to be who they are in the world. And there's a safety and a trust that they have in their relationship to being given to and to receiving from others in life. Unfortunately, a healthy dynamic like this does not happen often enough. And for many, many reasons. Mother might be unavailable because of work or illness. Maybe mother is unable to give because she's depleted herself, or she was taught or conditioned to always be taking, or she was taught and conditioned to abandon herself. Maybe mother is taken away because of work or illness or other reasons. For whatever reason, if mother is not able to give to the baby, then the baby starts already developing this belief that they have to be the one to give in order to get what they need. The dynamic of child receiving and just being fed by mother gets broken. And the child starts to go already into the dynamic of giving. Let me take care of you, mama. Let me make sure you're okay. Let me give to you, really, so that I can also get what I need. Because at the heart and core of it is, if a child's mother is not there, and a child does not have parents to take care of them, they do not survive. It is life or death, and that is how it feels for children. And so we will find whatever ways we can in order to try and get our needs met, because it is life or death. And so already the dynamic is broken, and we start to give to mother. We start to give, we start to give, we start to give. And we start to develop this belief that we're not worthy of receiving, that it's not safe for us to receive, that for us to be taken care of, for us to feel safe, for us to get love, we have to give. What that starts to develop in us is we start to develop these strategies and these behavioral patterns of always trying to find ways to be strong, to be independent, to be tough, to be in control, to give to others, and to be the one somehow that's always dominant. Because deep down inside, that is the only way that we feel safe in the world. Because deep, deep down, there is that child wound that feels like they will not survive, we will not survive if we stop being strong. And so you can hear that if we continue living this way, we're living from this place of trauma. We're living from this place of emptiness. We're living from this place of not enoughness, this wound. And continually living from that place will only continue more pain and more suffering. And so the deep, deep need within us that wanted to receive in the first place just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we just end up being depleted and wiped out. And it brings up anger and resentment and more suffering. So how do we come back to healing? First, going to that child that made that belief, I am not worthy of receiving. First, bringing awareness, unabided awareness and presence and seeing to that wound within us that wanted so much to receive, but it just didn't feel safe at the time. If you look at the self-soothing and self-parenting video that I recorded already, there will be many, many tools that are in that video to teach you how to heal the relationship that you have with your inner child. So first, becoming present and available to that wound, giving it your availability and your awareness of seeing. The kind of seeing that the child did not get, your child did not get. And then actively bringing more of this earth feminine energy into your life, slowing down. When we slow down, we move into our softness. And when we move into our softness, we come back into the now, into the present moment. And that will bring up all the feelings that we've been moving so fast to avoid. When we slow down, we get more in our vulnerability. Now, this is how we heal. allowing ourselves to feel the feelings that come, all the feelings that we've been being tough and strong and moving fast on top of. So keep your journal with you at all times, meditate more, take the time to really give yourself the holding and the space to allow these feelings to come, because that is your healing. Slowing down, bringing more earth energy into our lives so that we're feeding ourselves with that nourishment, that softness, that comfort, whether it's through food, when we're hungry and when we really, really give ourselves what we want and need, not as a form of punishment and self-destruction, but as a form of feeding ourselves with love. May we feed ourselves with the earth energy through sitting and reading a book more, or having touch, or having a bath, or any kind of activities or actions that will bring us more into the softness, allowing us to release that guard, that hard guard. Learning how to allow others to give to us. But first and foremost, and the most important part, is really healing the belief within ourselves. It is safe for me to receive. It is safe for me to be nourished. I am ready to be fed with full abundance and nourishment. And allowing ourselves to feel that on a body level, in the heart, not just in the mind, not just affirmations in the mind, but in the heart. When we allow ourselves to drop into the feminine, to be fed and nourished, it helps us to come back more in connection to our feelings. It helps us to come back more in connection with our heart and our intuition, our discernment. It helps us to come back more into that place of mother to ourselves. And mother can be strong and powerful. When we come back into this soft, feminine, divine energy, we also reconnect with the earth, nature, feeling the power of the earth beneath our feet. Feeling the connection between our feet, our body, and the earth below us, and the air around us, and nature and the seasons around us, that we are all connected and we are one. And this is where our true power lies. And so really, this is such a great, great journey of healing, and it will take time, but it is so worth it. Look in your journals, get your journals out and look at yourself. Where do I feel like I have to be strong all the time? Do I feel like I have to always be in some form of a fight? Do I always have to be the one that's giving? And look deep inside yourself. Is that really what I want? Am I ready to change that? Am I ready now to allow myself to receive? And if I am ready to allow myself to receive, am I ready to allow myself to trust that it is safe for me to receive? So I hope that you find this useful. Please write in the comments below any insights that come to you. I really love hearing from you. And please do subscribe to Soul Surgery so that we can support as many people as possible to receive this content and to come home to who we truly are. Thank you.